go. Let's use an RC4Magic Series 3 DMX2 DIM to ring a telephone. So basically we're making it into a wireless telecue. And keep in mind too, there's a DMX data in jack, so you could do this wired if you've got no transmitter running on the system. So let's look at the basics first. Of course, we need a ringing bell telephone, any old school telephone. We'll need a dimmer that is RC4 and can go into the special wave that can generate AC, because bell telephones ring with an AC voltage. It's kind of similar to line voltage for power, but it's a much lower frequency. 20 to 25 hertz at 80 to 100 volts is what rings a bell. So the way we do this, with a really neat bit of software in the dimmer, we've created a gang of two dimmers, and they alternate back and forth at a set frequency, and they simulate or emulate a sine wave as they jump back and forth. So then we can take that, which is happening at the input power voltage, and we can put it through a transformer. So here's a little small power supply transformer. It's the same kind of thing you would normally use to build a power supply for a device where you'd put line voltage in on one side, like 120, or if you're in Europe, 240, and you'd get a low voltage out, 8, 12, 15, something like that. But magnetic components like this work both ways. If you inject low voltage AC on the secondary side, it actually comes out as high voltage on the other side, and that is a characteristic of a transformer that we're going to use here. So the steps are, we get this into the AC wave mode, we connect it up to the secondary side of the transformer, and then we connect that to the telephone, and when we're setting up the AC wave, we have to assign it to the DMX channel that we want. So let's go through that. In new RC4 Enhanced OneTouch, there is, I call it a sort of secret way to get to all of the special feature dimmer curves that are beyond the common ones. Like, you already know probably how to set ISL slow, ISL fast, linear, non-dim. Those are the everyday curves that you need all the time. But there are all the other curves that will do servo motors and ring telephones like we're going to do now. And to get to those, we have mapped them out to individual DMX levels starting at a value of 20. So a value of 20 on a channel gives you ISL slow, a value of 21 gives you ISL fast, 22 you get linear, and then we start getting into inverted curves and servo motor curves and all that stuff. And if we go up to a value of 30, 30 is mapped to the AC wave curve. So just like OneTouch has always worked, but now some precision is required to get down to the specific special curve. So if I want to use DMX channel 25, I will go to that channel, and that channel alone, all other channels will be off, and I will set it to a level of 30. So let's do that. Over to my console, channel 25, and I've set it to 30. You can see the chart below here that gives you all the values and the curves. So now I can power up my dimmer. When the blue light is flashing, it's linked to the transmitter. That tells that's our connection. And we see on the yellow light, it's blinking, that there's some data coming in. And I'll just quickly show you too, this is in default mode, so channels A and B, dimmers A and B are on channels 1 and 2 with the ISL slow curve, just like after you've restored defaults. So now we're going to gang the two channels together as a pair on channel 25 for AC wave. All of that happens simply by picking the channel, putting it at a level of 30, and then pushing set A. And right away, there is, you can see that fluttering back and forth. That is AC synthesis with the A and the B channels ganged together. So it's hard to see, but they're actually alternating. Now, we have to wire that up to the transformer. Really easy. Keep in mind, all RC4 dimmers, the commons on the output are the plus side. So on the center tap of your transformer, it has to be a center tap transformer, the center tap goes to plus. And it's really easy if you use the dim B plus, because it's right between the dim A minus and the dim B minus. So when you get all of these in there, it's kind of a clean, good looking setup, as you see here. So there is the dimmer connected to a secondary side of a step-up transformer, center tap on plus, and each other leg out on a negative dimmer. So now when I bring up the channel, alternating current plus and minus 12, because that's my power supply today, goes into there, and out of here will come 80 or 100 volts AC. Here's my telephone. I have a non-standard connector on it. It doesn't need to be anything special. You could go and get a telephone that's got an original RJ11 on it, totally fine. Go to Home Depot, get an R11 jack and put it on the primary side of your transformer, and you can plug any old telephone you want into it. So here, let's do that. We'll plug the telephone into the primary side of the transformer. And if I've done it all right, we should get a bell on DMX25. There we go. Note that we get the bell cadence in your console programming. So you could do a kind of a British cadence. And you've got control of how long, how quickly you do the pace. Some directors like to kind of push the urgency in a scene by making the bell ring a bit faster in cadence than it might be in a natural phone. Some neat stuff there. You know, when everything is calm, the phone seems to ring more relaxed. And when there's a tense scene, the phone seems to ring with more urgency. It's kind of some fun tricks you can do there. And also, of course, phones are designed so that the handset switch turns off the bell. So that just happens by itself. So there's a wireless telecue. Didn't take very long, didn't need any software. All I need is my DMX console, a paper clip to push the button, and of course I have to know what levels to set the channels at, which are all right here on this page. So it's easy. There's your wireless telecue.